Here are your notes on velocity. Please go to the velocity tab on your motion foldable and add in these notes and these couple of practice problems, please. So the definition of velocity is the measure of how fast an object is traveling in a certain direction. It's really important that you highlight or underline that velocity has to do with how fast something is going, but that there's also a direction included. The units are very similar to speed, but as you'll notice here, it's plus a direction. So again, it is really important that you remember that its velocity must include the direction, not only the unit, but also the direction that it's going. The formula is very similar to speed. It's really just velocity instead of speed here. So velocity is the distance over time, change in distance over change in time, again, plus a direction. So velocity changes if the speed changes and the direction changes. An example problem here that I want you to write down. If Anne walked 1.5 miles south to her house in 0.5 hours, what is Anne's velocity? And so to use our velocity triangle here, or our power triangle, if we cover up velocity, we know that velocity equals distance over time. And so I'm going to put my equation right here, and then I'm going to fill in my distance, which is the 1.5 miles, over the time given, which is 0.5 hours. And then remember, when I'm answering this, not only do I need my miles per hour, but I also need to include the direction that it's going. And in my problem, it tells me that Anne is walking to the south, and so I would want to include that in my actual answer. So the full unit for velocity is 3 miles per hour south. If you just say 3 miles per hour and we're asking you for velocity, that would be incorrect because the units are not correct. And so please make sure that you are adding in that direction when dealing with velocity. All right, another practice problem here. If Mark walks 10 meters west and then 5 meters east and then 2 meters west again, all in 2 minutes, what is his velocity? And so how you would solve that, again, velocity equals distance over time. So our distance is going to be on top and our time is going to be underneath to divide. And how you solve this is you can say 10 meters west minus 5 meters east plus 2 meters west, all over 2 minutes. And so here I subtracted these because they're going in opposite directions. It's actually okay if you were to add those as well. Just in this example problem, I subtracted them because they're going in opposite directions. So when we solve for that, we would get 7 divided by 2, which ends up being 3.5 meters per minute. And because my overall direction ended up being to the west, I added that in as my direction there. So once you're done watching the video, which is linked right here, so you're watching these video notes right here, you're going to read through this right here and do these practice problems. We've added in the speed and velocity power triangles for you so that you can go and reference them as you are working. If you're working with a scratch piece of paper first, these are really good things to write down so that you can continue to practice using them as you're learning how to use those power triangles and how to manipulate that equation. Please make sure that you're checking your work when you're done and really practice on explaining how you got the answer, and that will help you with preparing for the assessment because your assessment will look exactly like this. It will be a question and you'll give your answer with the unit here, and then your showing your work is now explaining how you got your answer. And so that's how we know if you know what you are understanding correctly in these problems. And then you also have an extra speed and velocity practice problem sheet here. And so check your work. The key is updated and right here, and go through that. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to hop on a Google Classroom video or email your teacher and ask us any of those questions, and we are here to help. Good luck and thank you.